Welcome to Shock 'em Dead podcast episode.
Oh, I have no idea. It's been a while.
Whichever one we're on.
Yep, it'll be in the description.
In the title.
Yep, but I'm too mad to even remember what episode it is.
And
we'll tell you why.
We will. Where have we been for the last few months?
We went to space. No, we didn't.
We played music.
We did for several weekends in a row.
We worked a lot.
Unfortunately.
What else did we do?
We went and saw Ingy Teen Malmatine.
Ingstein Malmatine?
No, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was weird because it was in like an auditorium, and it looked like the principal was going to come out and tell us how we shouldn't put our gums under our desks and stuff.
I turned 30.
Whoa. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to burp in the mic.
You're already burping. You just took one drink.
Yeah, it happens. Happy birthday.
A few months later.
It's almost my birthday.
Yeah. My birthday was July 2nd, so...
Mine's the 22nd of October.
Next week.
Yeah, it'll probably be when this comes out.
No.
Well, I didn't mean that like this guy. I just meant like it's... I mean, we don't usually have time to do stuff.
We did just record a pickup video I gotta upload.
Yeah. And we, feel like we did more stuff. Did we go to see anybody else play? And we went to the Rocks Glass, and we went to just like little bars and stuff.
Yeah, local stuff.
Just having good times.
Oh,
we moved stuff around in the house. I don't know. Who cares about that shit, though, really?
Housework.
Housework!
But today we are going to be talking about Halloween Ends.
And shit. Halloween ends in shit. And a steaming pile of diarrhea, bubbling bog of poop.
As of this recording, it was just released, 2 days ago?
Yeah,
three days ago?
We didn't go to the theater to watch that shit. We went
to our couch and watched it on the Peacocks.
I have talked to several people about this movie so far in length with both my sister Janine, whose boyfriend Joe watched it, and she dodged the bullet because she didn't watch it, and Lauren, our friend Lauren, best of friend, Janine is too. I didn't mean it like that, obviously, but we talked about how terrible it was. Absolutely appallingly terrible. It made me stop as I was making my omelet yesterday. My delicious, delicious omelet. In anger because I realized something. But you know what? We'll get to that. So it was streaming on Peacock, and I was about to say, as Lauren said, we went to our living room to be disappointed. We didn't go to the theater and spend real money. And I am aware that people like this movie.
Yeah.
It's okay to be wrong. You know. I don't fucking care. If you don't, I mean, I'm sure there are several people that knew me before this. And since they have listened to this, they're like, yeah, I don't like her. It's fine. It's okay.
Well, some people just like to watch a movie, and as long as it entertains them.
It
doesn't matter if it's shitting all over a legacy.
If I got a jingle bell or some keys and waved it in front of your face, would you be like, no, woo?
Yeah.
And these children that have never seen any actual horror, and they're like, I fucking love Scream. They're like, are you ready for the new Halloween?
No.
No. I'm like, this should have stopped like 30 years ago. And they're like, 30 years ago? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the ones that just came out.
They didn't even make movies 30 years ago.
It's probably what these idiots think. Well, surprise. I'm already fucking fuming. It makes me so mad.
Halloween Ends. Directed by David Gordon Green, the man himself.
David motherfucking stupid piece of shit Gordon Green.
Written by Paul Brad Logan, Chris Bernier, I guess.
Here it comes.
Danny McBride.
Oh, right in the heart.
And David Gordon Green.
Danny McBride, please tell me stop by for some sandwiches.
Kenny fucking Powers himself.
Didn't he work on, or not Prometheus, one of the...
Alien, I almost said Resurrection. Alien...
One of them that...
the sequel to Prometheus.
I didn't like that one. But I think he did a good job at acting, and he's, like, super excited because he loves horror movies, and I respect that. But Danny McBride, please stop before you hurt me.
Well, he is third on the list, so I guess he's, like, I'd say it was mostly written by Paul Brad Logan.
I like to think that he was out on his jet ski.
With some topless meth head woman on the back of it.
Yes. Eating like a glazed donut.
Based on characters created by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill.
Shit on the characters created out of genius. May I please just say this small tidbit of information that I feel is very necessary for the base of my opinion on all of this stuff. Michael Myers, the reason he is so scary and imposing, and there's a lore and a mystery about him, is because he kills for no reason. His mom wasn't a stripper. He didn't get bullied or some shit. He's just some kid that started killing. That's why it's scary. We don't need to have, like, compassion come from this character. There doesn't need to be character depth. This is a crazed murderer that wants to see blood. And if you want character development, then you're watching the wrong shit. Stephen King. You're 80. It's like he said, you're out of your mind.
Well, we'll get to Stephen King later.
Yeah.
So, let's see. Let me find a... I keep grabbing the mouse. The mouse is for that computer. A short description of the movie.
Just a question mark. They're like, I don't fucking know. I watched it. I don't know. I love how the poster is of Laurie and Michael.
The saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode comes to a spine-chilling climax in this final installment of this trilogy.
That's what we're calling it, huh?
It doesn't even have a good description on
It's just like
IMDb.
I guess I'm trying to be nice. So what are the scores for Rotten Tomatoes here?
It has a 40% on the tomato meter, and audience score is 57.
57. I feel like it was very split. It was either people hated it, which I mostly saw, aside from, like, comments on a page that had posted that it just came out or something, and people were like, well, I think it's really good. It's really innovative. Someone compared it to Halloween 3. Get the fuck out. Halloween 3 is my favorite Halloween.
It has nothing to do with Michael Myers.
Yes, and he's not in it. But he's not supposed to be in it. It's a completely different story of what John Carpenter wanted to write about, because you said each Halloween he wanted to write about a different scary thing that happened to make the season more scary. Not spooky, scary.
Spoopy.
Oh, God. But he wrote that one because it was supposed to be like... He wanted to do that originally, but they were like, oh, people love Michael Myers. So he was like, okay, I'll make another one. And then after the third one, they were like, yeah, people hated that. We want Michael Myers again. And he's like, okay. So now we're just, beating a dead horse that's been dead and decayed. We dug up the horse. There was a funeral for the horse.
Well, Halloween 4 was directed by Dwight H. Little and written by a bunch of people I don't feel like naming off.
And for the listeners, instead of the creeps, the people watching, Aaron has the stack of
the original Halloween VHS tapes.
That should have stopped here. I was pointing to the third one.
And the DVD of Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Oh, God. We'll get into that later.
I couldn't find Halloween 2. It's somewhere.
I think it just disappeared into a void because it's so bad. But is it worse than this?
No, I'd rather watch Rob Zombie's Halloween and maybe Halloween 2.
And let me tell you what.
I'd rather just not be in that situation where I have to watch Halloween 2.
That's thinking right there. Okay, getting back to this. 40% on the tomato meter, 57% on the audience score. And you were looking for a brief synopsis of the film, correct?
Yes, but I was going to read the critics' consensus.
Okay.
Halloween ends, for now anyway, with a frequently befuddling installment that is stabbed, slashed, and beaten by a series of frustrating missed opportunities. Yep.
Okay, could I start out with saying how the movie opens at least?
Yeah.
All right, so...
The wrong kid died.
So it opens with this random guy going to babysit at this fucking... Okay, it looks like an 18-story mansion inside, but outside it just looks like a fancy rich people house. And as soon as we get in the house, you know, it's this dorky kid riding up to the house on his bike because only dorks ride bikes.
And it's Halloween 2019, which is, you know, the Halloween Kills. It takes place...
2018, right?
No, 2019.
Oh.
It's that same night. Him killing the little kids the same time as Halloween Kills, or Halloween and Halloween Kills.
Wait a minute, why would there be Halloween if everybody's at the fucking hospital chanting "Evil dies tonight" and there's like riots and shit? But there's let's go to a Halloween party. It was like everybody in the fucking town was in the hospital.
Yeah, but it's the same time.
Why?
This isn't happening after. It's happening like when everything's normal at the beginning of Halloween 2018.
I hate even more now. Okay, so got this dork riding up on his bike, right?
Yeah, Corey.
Yeah, Corey.
I don't have a dad.
Can I say his last name?
Not yet.
All right. Okay, so this kid rides up, and you're supposed to just get that he's a dork because he's got glasses on riding a bike. Oh, what a dork. And he comes in, and he's like, hey, babysitter.
Hey, Jeremy, I'm gonna sit on you.
And then I guess you're supposed to know he's a dork because he waves to the dad, and the dad's playing piano. I'm like, who's that? What is he supposed to be? What is the dad doing? Like, at first I thought it was like the weird guy that the dad didn't like, and there's a weird vibe going on between the Corey and the mom. And I was like, are they like getting together? And the dad's like, I'm gonna play piano. And then she's like, Jeremy, he wets the bed and he hears voices, which you would think is a missed opportunity, because I thought maybe this kid was going to have some weird shit going on to where he was like kind of possessed at night or something.
Yeah. Nope.
Right out the window. It was just, Michael Myers has affected this town so much so that he's making my shit-ass kid wet the damn bed. He's here. Why mention that? And then she's like, Jeremy, looks up this giant fucking staircase. And I was like, gee, that's not foreshadowing at all. That's not ominous. How would that staircase be in a 2-story house? That looked like some Ghostbusters shit. You know when they're going up the stairs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like 4 floors.
And what? God, I hate this. This scared me. This scared me more than the whole movie, because the movie was 0% scary. The kid is scared of everything, so Jeremy wants to shake it up and watch a scary movie, and they put on The Thing. I was like, you motherfuckers, don't you touch that. Don't you touch that with your David Gordon Green poopy fingers. Put it down.
That was a reference to Halloween 1 where they are watching the original The Thing.
But I'm still scared. Like, I remember that.
Yeah.
I don't want them to That was the best part of the movie, is when you saw the thing from 1981. Not
2.
that was 81.
Oh, is it 81?
The thing.
The remake.
It was called 2 different things, but I know you know that.
Yeah.
So the kid. So Corey's like, I'm scared of the movie. I'm not a babysitter, and they're implying.
Well, you didn't say he was scared of the movie, did he? I thought he.
Yeah, he was like, could we watch something else?
No, the kid was getting scared. He's like, you want me to turn it off? We'll watch something else.
No, because he was getting scared, and the kid was like, no, you're just a wussy with a boy band haircut. Like the kid sounded like he came straight out of Leave It to Beaver when his parents were around. But here he comes with the sass mouth and the spicy curse words.
I'm pretty sure the kid was getting scared. He's like, you want me to turn it off? He's like, I'm not scared.
I think he was pretending, because at first he was like kind of scared, and then he was like, well, I'm not scared, you are. But Corey was. Because he was like shitting his pants in the attic because he was already scared. And he thought something was happening to the kid.
Well, yeah, because the kid was screaming his lungs out upstairs, and he ran up there, and then he got locked in the room.
The way that it happened. Okay.
He was like cutting cake. Remember, in the kitchen was a butcher knife.
I mean, if you don't cut cake with a butcher knife, are you really cutting cake?
And then he turns around, and the butcher knife's gone. He starts going up the stairs, and he finds the knife on the stairs.
And the little kid, what child would do this? I knew some deranged kids growing up. This is just, like, everything is just a ridiculous caricature of how everything might be in this movie. It's absolutely absurd. The kid's up there screaming, help me, like, not even like, help me, ha ha ha, gosh, I'm sorry, but like straight up
screaming bloody murder.
Yes. And you even were like, why isn't he running upstairs? Because I thought, I know they're making you think this. I thought Michael Myers was coming in the house. I was honestly, I didn't watch previews. I was getting ready to see that guy just straight up get killed by Michael Myers. And then it's like, bang, boom, boom, bang, boom, boom, bang. You know, closing up on the... No.
No, he gets locked in the room, and he starts screaming and crying and kicking on the door.
Like a 21-year-old would do. And then he was like, I'm going to kill you! I'm going to kill you!
But, well, the parents are coming home, and then he starts yelling at, and they're like, what is that? And then here comes the little boy.
Flop! He's like, somebody needs to re-edit that and just edit like, when he hits the floor. And it's not like, look, I don't want to see a dead child, but it was just like a puddle of blood, and the kid was just like... Also, how are you that close to the stairs? Like, how is the door that close? Like, think about it.
And he's a little kid, and, you know, a railing for stairs like that is, you know...
Is it like up to your fucking knees?
It's like over 30 inches, so this little kid is probably not 30 inches tall, or barely over 30 inches tall.
And if you think about it later, when they go back to the house, that girl is having to, like, hoist herself up onto the railing to put her elbow onto it and rest.
Yeah.
Is he doing gymnastics? Did he want to die?
Probably. He's just like, I'll get this guy. Jump.
When he's falling down, he's flipping him off.
And then we get our credits sequence of the pumpkins coming through the pumpkins, which is like the only cool part of this movie.
That is what we said when we were seeing it, because we knew right then, with this setup, we were like,
and then
garbage.
It had the fonts from Halloween 3 saying all the credits.
Is that supposed to mean, like, look what we're doing?
No.
We're not doing the same thing as we usually do. Look at us.
Oh, it's their third movie.
That shit. Just do your own thing. For the love of fucking everything.
Yeah, I mean, look at Hatchet. Like, those movies were all right. That was original.
You know what? Digging Up the Marrow was interesting. Just, it's time to stop. I'm just so filled with anger and rage. And these... Okay, I'm not saying you're an idiot if you like this movie. I'm talking about these people who don't know anything about movies. They're like, this is so great. Have you seen that new Halloween movie?
It's got Michelle Myers. Mike Myers.
We'll get to that. All right.
3 years later.
Yeah. Okay, so Corey, 3 years later.
Well, it showed that Lori's got a new house.
She's doing just fine, writing a book. She's doing just fine, having a niece. Oh, granddaughter.
You keep saying niece.
I didn't even remember who the fuck that was. I was like, y'all expect me to remember this shit?
Well, it's all these years later. Like, she's got a new house. Her daughter's dead still.
Still. You believe she hasn't come back yet?
Her granddaughter is a nurse. Allison. And then it shows that Corey, it mentioned that Corey was going to go to college to be an engineer, but now it shows that he's just working at his dad's junkyard, cutting exhaust pipes off cars and just letting them hit the ground.
Oh, but don't forget the welder. As soon as I saw him welding, I was like, yeah, I know what's going to happen. If you're closing up on something like that, oh man, I hate it so much. So, okay, Corey works.
Or it's like his stepdad, I think.
I don't even know. Is that his dad or not?
I think he just kept calling him by his name. So I think it's his stepdad.
If y'all are going to give us all these stupid motherfucking characters, maybe make it clear who they are. And why we should care, because I gave no shits about Corey. I gave no shits about Allison and her stupid, dumb job. The only part of that movie where I kind of connected with a character is when the other nurse that worked with Allison wouldn't shut the fuck up, and she was like, do you ever just shut the hell up? And I was like, hey. And then that was it.
Oh, and we forgot to mention that Corey looks like Neil from The Young Ones.
Nigel Planner, yes.
He looks like he could be his son, but...
Or how Lauren put it, looked like he got rejected from the frat house of Neil's.
Yeah. So
Corey works in a junkyard.
And then he goes home that day. He's riding his bike home because he doesn't have a car because he's 25 years old. Mm-hmm. And then he buys him a Yoo-Hoo. I don't drink the beer. And then
he even gets bullied.
Yeah, then he gets bullied by the band geeks.
Oh wait, I was talking about.
Oh yeah, he's getting harassed by the guy at the counter for some reason.
He was looking at what to drink for like 5 seconds, and the guy was looking at him in the mirror and say, "Are you gonna buy something or get out?" It's like, look, I work in retail. You know how many times I want to say it to people? You just go about your business, especially if somebody just went up to select a drink. I ain't defending Corey. Oh man, I can't wait till I could say his.
Corey, I don't have a dad.
He's saying that because growing up I watched Boy Meets World, and I called Sean Corey, I don't have a dad. Okay.
Well, I guess he doesn't have a dad. He has a stepdad.
Corey doesn't have a dad. That's what this should have been called.
So he pays for his Yoo-Hoo, then he goes out and gets beaten up by the band geeks. The band geeks are out there, and they're like, "Yes, we gotta get some beer. You got your fake license?" And they're like, "No, man, I got thrown away or something. I got a weird mullet." Mullet
Boy McGee, who clearly plays the drums.
Yeah, he's got drumsticks every time you see him.
Yeah, because that's what I do.
Foreshadowing.
Oh, really? And there's a girl that's like, "Guys, stop!" But she doesn't really do anything. And the lead bully, who's supposed to be the cool guy, wearing the band Letterman jacket.
In small town Illinois with his New York accent.
Do you just develop that if you're a bully? Hey, look at me. I need some beer. Also, band kids would not want beer. Has anyone that ever worked on this movie met anyone from a school band?
I'm sure band geeks want beer, but they're like too afraid to ask anyone to get it.
I knew people in band, and I'm not knocking people that were in band. I'm just saying they're not pieces of shit.
Yeah, they're not going to go beating up on a 25-year-old.
And anyway, why would, he was in his face like, "You're just a pedo. You're just a pedo. You want to buy me a beer, though? Are you gonna go? Are you gonna? Is it cool? You gonna go in there and get me beer? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
So Corey turns him down, and then they knock him down, and he breaks his yoo-hoo.
Oh, he breaks his yoo-hoo bottle. Then they get pissed off at him. They're like, what the fuck? Bam!
And he cuts his hand.
Bam!
Meanwhile, Lori is getting gas at the same gas station.
She's like,
I'll give you a ride home, boy.
Throw your bike in the trunk. We're going to slash your tires. Let's go.
Yeah, so he slashes their tires with his switchblade.
And, Allison is supposed to go to the big Halloween party. Why is this town celebrating Halloween?
Yeah, you got 40 years ago, Michael Myers is killing everybody, and then, they erased all of, Halloween 2 through Halloween Resurrection, so those didn't matter anymore, but still...
And the year before.
No, 3 years before.
3 years. Okay, so the wound hasn't even healed. And they're talking about all these casualties on the radio station, like making fun of it. And I know you're supposed to get aggravated at that guy, which I didn't fucking care. I didn't care. But they're talking about, like, oh, he killed people, huh? It's like, it's your town. This is supposed to be a small town. He wiped out, like, most of the population 3 years ago. What's the joke?
He's just an asshole.
I thought he was funny. But,
Shitters will get what they're asking for, or whatever. So, he slashes their tires, and then Lori takes them to the hospital to meet her granddaughter, Allison.
Who was supposed to go to the Halloween party, but she didn't have a date. And Lori just really wants her to go, and she's wearing a sexy Halloween costume.
At the hospital? Not yet.
No, she was saying, like...
Oh, yeah.
It's not Halloween if it's not sexy. It's like, what are you wearing? What was that costume? It was like you said, she looked like a goth kid in 8th grade.
Yeah. With a crappy mask on.
They played the dead Kennedys.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So they, she fixes his hand, and then...
she, like, immediately, when she slightly made awkward eye contact with this man... in the waiting room, she heard Barry Manilow. She heard like fuck like a beast. She heard every song. She just wanted to jump his bones.
Get down on it.
Like what in the fuck is this? There is no, and I know they're supposed to be like, oh, they made such a connection because what comes later. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense.
It was love at first sniff.
But you're not like... You're sniffing hard. But if I first met you, I wouldn't be like after he fixed her, she fixed his hand. They went outside and she was like, or he said, I have a motorcycle. And she was like, teach me to ride it? And he was like, oh, well, you want to go to dinner? You want to go to a Halloween party? I was like, holy fuck. Settle down, Beavis.
And she's got a problem with her exhaust hose.
How would he have known that? Like when and she, I guess, dated like a 50-year-old cop.
Yeah.
That pulled her over because her exhaust was coming off. And she mentioned it when she was fixing Corey's hand. And he's a handyman, works in a junkyard. He's like, oh, that's just your exhaust rattling. And you're like, how would he know that?
Yeah.
How would he fucking know that? You can't, like, he knows cars very well. If somebody were like, there's a rattling on my car, he wouldn't be like, exhaust.
Scanning.
They're like, never mind. All right. Goodbye.
Yes, that is your exhaust.
All right, so after she's like, you want to, come back to my house and I'll rape you. Like, he's like, no thanks, I gotta go home to Mother.
The mother's a meanie. So I smell the perfume on you. Here is she, blah, 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 blah.
Can I just say it? Could I please, for the love of fuck, just say it?
Corey Cunningham.
It's Regina Cunningham. He's supposed to be Arnie Cunningham. They mixed Christine with this pile of shit. And it infuriates the living hell out of me. They made Regina Cunningham supposed to be Arnie's mom, Even though there is no reason for her to be like that, there's no establishment of that he's in a family like that. The reason that Arnie went through such a transformation in Christine is because he saw something that was as broken as him, and the car was possessive. It possessed people. It actually possessed people. In the book, it was fueled by the blood of the people who died in it. The car was evil. Roland D. LeBay, George LeBay in the book, was in that car. The people who died in that car were in that car. So it possessed Arnie, and he started to slowly change, and the car took over him. And you could see the gradual change, but you could see it being kind of fast-paced. In the book, it was more slow, but you have establishing characters. Dennis, his best friend, his dad, who you could tell is the kind that's like, I don't like this, but I'm not going to say anything. And you got Regina, who is the asshole.
Somebody really wanted to talk about this.
I've been holding it in. It's like diarrhea. I'm so mad. But I was saying, you have the point of view of Dennis. You have the point of view of Lee, Dennis's girlfriend, who ends up going out with Arnie because there's such a change in Dennis and Arnie that it's crazy. Because, oh no, Dennis wanted to go out with Lee, but Lee went out with Arnie, and Arnie couldn't get a girl before, and he was like pizza face. He was picked on, and then he realized that he could stand up for himself, and the car changed him, and he started to become one with the car.
And he didn't have to wear glasses anymore. After the party they go to, and they're rocking out to the Dead Kennedys, he gets harassed by the band geeks again, and they...
Small interruption, I'm sorry. Why would they be playing the Dead Kennedys? People would get off the dance floor. They'd be like, what is this? There's no fucking way. Anyhow.
So they beat him up and they break his glasses. They crush him in almost a shot-for-shot Buddy Repperton.
Oh my God, they did.
Smashing Arnie's glasses.
I'm going to cry. This is so bad.
And then they push him off the bridge.
They did. He was reaching for him. Yeah. It was like when I am so mad.
She's tearing up.
I'm so mad.
So they push him off the bridge, and then somebody drags him into the sewer.
If you like this movie, don't talk to me. I'm serious. Don't talk to me.
He gets dragged into the sewer, and then he wakes up.
I'm gonna sit the next couple, please. Hold on.
He grabs a brush and puts a little makeup.
God damn it.
But he wakes up and he's wondering how the hell he got in the sewer. Well, there's some other stuff that happened before this, but he's walking out, and then he sees something in his crack, and then he looks
in his crack,
and then Michael Myers grabs him by the throat and looks him in the eye and transfers all of his evil juices into his eyes. And then he gets
jacked up on Michael Myers juice, as you said. I thought that was very funny.
And then he does not need glasses anymore.
He got them Spider-Man powers. Woo! It didn't happen in the comics.
He got the Christine powers because Arnie didn't have to wear glasses anymore after that.
He switched to contacts, though.
No,
he says he switched to contacts.
But he didn't. He says that, but he didn't. Remember, in the book, he said his vision just kept getting better and better.
Okay.
It was like,
but that's...
Christine fixed herself and she fixed Arnie.
This is my favorite books ever. I find it odd that your favorite stuff, like how I played Final Fantasy VIII, it's not even like I'm trying to... I think it's because we're so similar.
Similar.
Don't fuck with this. Because when you fuck with this, you're fucking with the best. You know what? This is the second time a Stephen King movie or book has been raped. Malignant.
Yes, but didn't David Gordon Green get the rights to Christine? Wasn't that him that is apparently remaking Christine? Remember we talked about it?
He already did. He just fucking did.
We were talking about it in our Christine episode.
He just did. He just did. Just stop. Please. What does this motherfucker look like?
He was the director of Eastbound and Down and Vice Principals.
Huh?
He was the one that worked on one of the greatest comedy shows of all time.
I think I might have to call him to work tonight. I can't handle this. Oh, my God. Stay away from Christine. Halloween has been beaten to death. Halloween is dead. This isn't. Stop.
So after his eyes are fixed and he gets all the Michael Myers juice.
Like, you can't even tell that his eyes are fixed. It just, his mom's yelling at him, much like Regina in the scene where Arnie comes home after buying no, he's working on the car, because this is after he established that he's keeping the car, and he comes back and she's like, "Where have you been?" And this is where
have you been?
This is where you could see Arnie's just fucking lost it, because he's in like a wife beater, like George or Roland LeBay in the movie. He's all sweaty and gross. He's got his hair slicked back. He's a different person. You don't need some guy in a bar clearly saying he's a different person.
Yeah.
And he turns around and he's like, "Why don't you just fuck off?" Or something. And his mom was just like, it's so establishing. It's great. It's wonderful. This guy is just in the bathroom while his mom's banging on the door, and he's looking in the mirror, and I guess we're supposed to see that he could see now?
Yeah, because
go fuck yourself.
Went from blurry to seeing.
I could barely tell, though. Like, I'm watching the movie. I got my eyes open. Unfortunately, I'm seeing what's going on.
Well, but when he comes out of the sewer after getting the Michael Myers juice, he kills the homeless man that we've seen a few times up at this point, just off and on here and there. He's like,
I forgot about that.
And then he goes up to that girl and he's like, "I just killed someone." And she's like, "Okay, let's go."
And then when he comes to the house after, like, it's the night after the dance, and he snubbed her after, she's like, "Will you come with me? Will you come?" With her hands out. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What is that? Then he's like, "You can't fix me." And that's when he goes away and gets harassed, pushed off the bridge. Michael Myers juice. He could see.
Arnie Cunningham.
I'm so mad. Okay. So he goes to the house to apologize, and there's this weird shot where it's like, could you make it any more brazen? It's him standing next to the bush, next to Laurie's house, and she sees him out the window.
Yeah.
And he's standing like Michael Myers. And then he comes up, and she's just like...
Now remember, we're like halfway through the movie at this point, and we've only seen Michael once.
In the sewer. Dude's hanging out in the fuck... What's he doing in the sewer?
He's just like in a little crack.
What's he doing? He's under an overpass with some hope. Is that supposed to be scary?
Yeah.
Are Beavis and Butthead stuck in the pipe with him?
Are the Ninja Turtles down there with him?
He gets some pizza. They can't go out, they're turtles. He takes off his mask. He just looks like some dude wearing a...
hobo.
Yeah.
But Corey and Allison go on a date.
After he was like, "I killed someone," like you said, and she was like,
"Let's go on a date." And then the cop guy from earlier comes up and he's like, "Hey, you gonna go get..."
At a restaurant. He's like, "Me and the boys, it's his birthday, happy birthday." Dude doesn't even look up. Are you really with those guys? He's just squatting like spaghetti style next to the potted plant looking at them.
And then Corey gets up and he's like, "Hey, bro, you want to mess with me, bro?"
Because he's like, "Do you have a problem, buddy? You have a problem?" Because he's like, "Hey, I can come over here and hang out with my friends."
And it shows that he's not a geek anymore.
Oh. He's
a tough boy.
Ooh. He stands up and he's like, "You want a problem?" And then it closes up on his eyes. Better watch those eyes. They'll pop out and fucking dance around on your forehead. I don't know. And the guy's like, "Well, I don't want any trouble." It's like, you're a cop. You know goddamn well if somebody was a cop, they'd just beat the shit out of you and bring you to jail and throw you in a cell. That'd be the credits would roll. That'd be better.
He's off duty, though.
That doesn't fucking matter.
But they leave the restaurant, and she goes her way, and he goes his way on his little, Honda.
Oh, and you also see that the guy that owns the junkyard... Rewind a little bit. When he comes back up, when you see that he works at the junkyard, you see that, is it Darnell's junkyard? Why don't we just call it that? You see that the guy's like, Corey, you're late. But then he's like, come over here, I have something for you. It's like, what the fuck? And then it's his dad, or stepdad, or whatever the fuck. And I was like, what? What? And he's like, don't tell your mom about the motorcycle. But where did... He had to come home on the motorcycle. She would have heard it. Yeah. Is that supposed to be another nod to Christine?
Yeah. But he's leaving the restaurant on his little motorcycle. And then the cop gets in behind him. He's following him around town.
Don't you think he would have rammed him or something? That would have been more Christine-like.
He was just watching him, see where he's going. And he leads him to the hobo hole where Michael is. And then the cop's out with his flashlight looking around, and he sees a tent with a light in it, and he's like, man, is this guy living in a tent? And he opens the tent, and the dead hobo comes out.
Is that supposed to be, like, cool or scary or something?
Well, then Corey hops out and starts attacking him, and then kills him and drags him into the hobo hole.
For Michael to suck up that death juice and then transfer it to him. Okay, what is with the hand wound? And there's being some connection between him getting the Michael Myers jacked up juice into his... He'd be like... holding it up while he's killing somebody. And it was almost like a Freddy versus Jason thing going on.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like that movie. But it was like... I like how Lauren put it. She said... It was almost like he was supposed to become Michael Myers, but he became too big for his britches. That's what she said. And then Michael was like, no. But he's too old, and he's over there making old man grunting sounds, which was making me crack the fuck up. Like, when he'd move, he'd be like, oh.
I'm 70 years old this time, doing it.
You got any Metamucil? Because I fucking need it. These mice just ain't doing it for me, please, Lori. Please.
Allison finds out that her boss decided to give her promotion to the slutty nurse.
Okay, for people who actually like this movie, could you please at least admit you gave 0 fucks about this woman's mundane job? And the promotion that she briefly mentioned to Corey when she was fixing his hand, and he was like, you know, you shouldn't take things from people like that. Is your promotion worth it? And then you forget about the promotion, and it goes back, and the dumb nurse is like, I can't believe I got that promotion. I thought for sure it was going to be you.
And she's like, what? That's my promotion.
What?
Ping.
She turns into this giant dude in overalls. That would have been great. Hey, Corey, why you come over here and give me a big kiss right on my hairy nipple?
But instead, it goes to the scene where the slutty nurse and the doctor are going back to his weird, like, Hollywood, like, super, like, weird
ridiculous mansion,
millionaire mansion that a doctor would not be able to afford, with a pool in the middle of it and stuff. And then Corey comes.
But and he's wearing his mask.
Yeah, he's wearing his squirrel mask. It's a scarecrow mask that he had at the Halloween party.
This is supposed to be like.
Like the lights shut off and the girl's like in her lingerie and she's looking around. Or no, it was like a kimono looking thing.
Yeah, but before she like changes into it, the old guy's about to like have a heart attack from getting like attempting to get a boner because he's like, oh man, it's so hot at the office. Oh man, it's like,
and
Jesus, she's gonna die.
And she kept calling him Doctor, whatever his name was, like
why
instead of his name.
Who does that?
What was his name? But like she's putting on the lingerie, and then the lights go out, and then she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then she turns one of the lights on, and Corey's out there like hacking the dude's throat or something like that, wasn't it?
But I don't like the setup of it. I don't like the kill. I don't like how far away it was. I didn't like her reaction. I didn't like the lighting. I didn't like where it was in the house, how it was set up. It was just garbage.
But then Big Grampy comes and he stabs her through the heart into the wall and holds her up off the ground. Like
and I bet everybody was like, "Oh, just like the first movie."
Yeah, boy. Peace.
Just stop. We recycle cans. We recycle cardboard. We recycle to keep the earth efficient and clean. You don't need to recycle horror movies. Stop.
I can recycle this copy of Christine. So, doctor and nurse are both dead.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And then Allison and Corey are like hanging out on top of the roof of the radio station. Like
Let's
cool
do bad
kids.
boy things. I'm going to go on the top of that. We say baby.
And then they're like, let's get out of this town.
What the fuck was that? Why all of a sudden?
I've known you for 3 days, and we're going to get out of here.
Okay, but all right. So if we are to believe that this guy is the next Michael Myers, why is he persuading her to go away? By the way, I was calling him Mikey's little helper when I was watching this. Why is he persuading her to get out of town with him? It's like, so you wouldn't continue to kill, or you would continue to kill outside of Haddonfield, because that's not Michael Myers. That ain't his thing.
Well, it's because he had a rough time there. He's tired of getting picked on for being
He's killing people.
Baby killer, and then she's doesn't want to be there because her mom's dead.
Also, at the Halloween party, the mom of the dead kid was sitting at the bar, and what you pointed out, the same costume that she wore the year before.
3 years before.
Okay, it's still fresh. What the fuck are you doing? On the anniversary of her kid's flip-flopping to the ground, bye-bye boy, day, he died, she's at a bar.
Getting toe up.
And I guess her and the husband are separated, because it didn't really say, because Allison went to the bar, and some lady who I don't know who it was who kept hanging around, she knew Laurie or something. I don't know who these people are. Y'all expect me to remember this shit. And she's like, I think you need to meet someone. And it goes to the boy's dad, who sounds like the worst actor I've ever heard. Lauren was like, they got these people off Craigslist. That's what they did. And he's giving you the exposition. That's the best way to do it in a movie, is to just...
Oh, the woman at the bar was the little girl that Laurie babysat in 1978.
Oh, we got the old characters in here. You like that? You like that? Jingle, jingle, jingle. Ooh. All right. So...
Where's Corey Feldman? He's not in here. He got erased.
Oh, yeah. He's probably like, the guy who played Michael Myers touched me in the butthole. Help! Okay, so...
That's not funny that he might have gotten butthole touched when he was a little kid, but...
Did he really?
I don't know.
Oh, my God.
He talks about
I'm not joking about that. That's not funny. That's not fucking funny. All right, I thought he made false accusations, and the guy was like, I didn't do anything. No, that's what it was. He said that he got hurt when they were, like, super careful with him. But anyhow... What was I saying? Okay, so lady at the bar... Oh, no, the guy at the bar. We just hitting up bars? Is that how we get over our dead kid? Separate, hit up the bars?
Just get drunk.
But he's, like, supposed to be the old cowboy. I feel like he's like, I saw that boy. I pulled over side road trying to make amends with him because, you can't blame everything on that boy.
His eyes, they was different.
And I said... That's not the boy who mowed my lawn and babysat my kid.
And then I said...
But that is the kid.
Then I said, shit.
Bang! Just fell asleep on the horn. But then he said, but that is the kid that killed my son. Like, whoever wrote that down for the script was like...
Danny McBride.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's fucking great.
Oh, yeah.
It's James Hetfield. It was the AI-generated James Hetfield.
Yeah, yeah.
Say it on the guitar. Okay. Garbage. You can't just make your characters say they're angry. That makes me angry. Anybody that gets that, 200 points.
But after they hop down off that radio station, the DJ, don't remember what his name was, DJ Billy Bop.
WURG, that's all I remember. Because they were really driving that home. There were billboards, it was on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you guys listening to this? Why do you have it tuned into that station if you hate it? No one's making you listen to the radio in the car.
It's the only one that picks up.
Just listen to silence.
Yeah, but they hop down off there, and he's like, "Hey, get off my property!" Mm-hmm. And then Lori's sitting across the street watching.
What was the point of that? And she was just like...
She's suspicious. And then Corey doesn't go home that night. He goes over to the house that the little kid died in that's abandoned. And it looks like it's been abandoned for 40 years.
And then he goes to KFC with Lee and gets some chicken. And, you know... Oh, no, Dennis goes to KFC with Lee. And then Arnie sees and... Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Sorry.
But he's asleep in there. And then Lori sneaks in the window and is smacking a chair against the wall, really annoying.
I guess that's supposed to be ominous, but does it... Okay, do you agree that it doesn't make sense that she just kept on fucking going when she was talking? Yeah. Like, you'd think it would be to get his attention at first, and then when she woke up, she'd be like, "Oh, you're awake." Something.
She was like, I know you got your problems, but I hope you die!
These weird cuts in this movie, my God. And the weird directing and the angles and the lighting, it's just not good. And, of course, they always have to have, in any modern horror movie, just, dimly lit passages. And.
But remember, this morning that he just woke up to, her talking to, is Halloween morning.
I think I've said, like 5 times already.
And that she's talking to him about how he's a piece of shit.
You don't get my granddaughter. You don't get her.
And then he turns around and he turns back around and she's gone. She's disappeared.
And then she goes to his house to talk to his mom, right?
Yeah.
She goes to talk to Regina Cunningham.
But
you would be so lucky as to date my boy. What the fuck was that? What was that? She was just going like a weasel snake or something.
It's like we were watching that Witch Cross Keep It True video, and the guy was like singing, you know, between verses.
KK Downing used to do that too. He just used to go like, "What the fuck? Calm down on the cocaine there, KK."
But now it's time for those little band geeks to die.
Whoa, let's go back to Darnell's garage for more shots from Christine.
He tricks them to go to Darnell's garage. They follow him there just like Buddy.
He's got that smile. He got that crazy. He's on his motorcycle at the gas pumps at the same gas station. If these kids couldn't get beer before, why the fuck would they be back? They just settle for the Yoo-hoo.
Yeah.
In their cool car. Don't fucking touch my car. Because he keyed something into his car.
Yeah.
And he was like, "My dad's going to kill me."
So he leads them to the junkyard, and they get out of the car, and he locks the gate, and they're looking around for him. They see his motorcycle on the ground.
This is supposed to be the suspenseful moment where you know there's going to be a kill, so you're on edge. Except, guess what? I felt nothing. I was disgusted.
But everybody spreads out, and then...
Like you do if there's a, bad situation.
And one of them walks over to the car where little mullet boy with his drumsticks is dead, with his drumsticks sticking out of his eyes. And then the one girl's like standing there, and then... Beep!
But it looked like Lee. She was even wearing the same jacket. Lee wears Dennis's Letterman jacket at the end of Christine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. This is actually making me upset because I'm so angry.
And then she starts running for the gate, but the gate's locked, so she's climbing it, and she gets over it in time, but the truck... it was a truck that had its headlights on, not Christine. And the truck plows into the fence and crushes her.
But you know what made me so mad? I got angry when I was making eggs, I guess. It's just, that omelet was good, though. But I realized that she was the one who was on the fence about how they were treating Corey.
And she got dead by the fence.
I hate everyone that made me put 2 and 2 together in my head who worked on that movie. Fuck you. That's the worst kill.
There you go, crying again. You were crying.
This time I'm actually not.
Well, you're all teary.
Oh. Fuck, I might be. I'm pretty angry. I'm serious. If you like this movie, you know what, that's fine. But don't come at me with why it's good. Just don't. Don't talk about it with me. Because I'm going to get angry and then I won't like you.
Yeah, but after that girl gets smushed, Corey's stepdad looks out the window because he's still there at the office jerking off to porn or something.
He was watching some movie.
Yeah.
Probably another John Carpenter movie. Ooh.
That's what you do on Halloween. But
I mean, yeah, but not in this movie.
But he looks out and he sees that boy like, oh, help me. And then
I'm the cool kid with the accent. Look at me.
He's like, here, take this shotgun. I've got this pistol. And he runs out and he's trying to help the girl, like the one girl that didn't get crushed yet. And
then she's like, he's right there. He's right there. Like you're supposed to be scared. And there's doofy looking stupid Corey holding Michael Myers' mask, dressed as Michael Myers. Where'd he get that, by the way?
He borrowed it.
That wouldn't fit him.
So Michael's just naked in the...
he's just in the bushes like, hurry up, please. I'm cold.
Well, I mean, you can get... I mean, he had, like at the beginning of the movie, he had a jumpsuit already. Remember, he was wearing it when he was welding.
I'm so mad.
And he welded that one person's face. Or
it was that kid.
It was an acetylene torch, I guess. Yeah, but that kid...
You didn't even see it. You kind of saw it. These kills were bullshit. The only decent one was the radio DJ.
Well, hold on. We're getting there. Like,
But we already passed it. Okay.
No, we didn't.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But the, like, that kid, the main New York kid, he, with the shotgun, he shoots, and he gets the stepdad right in the forehead.
Yeah, because the stepdad realizes, oh, my little boy, my Corey, my sunshine, my bub-bubs, and runs in front of him, and the kid shoots him in the head, and, you know, right at the back. And Corey's just like, uh-oh.
And then the other girl's dead against the fence.
Yeah.
And then he...
Didn't even see that.
And then he attacks the New York boy, and he acetylene torches his face off.
This might as well have been PG. Fucking swear. I don't understand. I really don't. Moment of silence for the...
For Christine.
No. It's not dead. Because you know what? The people who watched this and enjoyed it have never seen this. So they think this is just fresh. Ooh, fresh. Just got it out of the deli. I saw them cut that meat. Ooh, right off the block. All right? Just like Malignant. Even though that wasn't new. I mean, it was just... Might as well have been an indie movie.
Yeah.
But it was like... People that watched that were like, oh, holy shit. I'm like, it's the dark half, but shitty. Why would you mix Halloween with Christine? Why would you do that? Who let this happen?
Halloween.
All right, so you want to finish?
Well, after the showdown at the junkyard, he goes back to his mama's house and
After Petunia kills Christine, you know.
And he kills his mom, and then he goes to the radio station.
I almost forgot about that.
It was just like a real quick kill.
That was so stupid. And she was watching a cooking show while she was knitting, and she was like, is that you, Ronald? Or whatever the fuck his dad's name was. I don't know what his dad's name was. Who cares? Who cares?
But then he goes to the radio station, and he, was it Michael killed the secretary? Or did Michael kill the DJ? They were both there.
I don't know.
I think Corey killed the secretary, and then Michael killed the DJ and cut off his tongue and threw it on the turntable. And then his
Wait a minute. That girl was listening to the... Allison was listening to the radio station in her car and heard, like, when the tongue was on the turntable and the needle just kept skipping because it was bumping into the tongue. Here's a question. Why the fuck would she still be listening to that radio station?
I don't know.
The dude was just like, get the fuck off my property. Which,
I will kill you.
I understand. I would have been like, get the fuck out of here.
It's the best radio station in town.
But she was like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm not even exaggerating that much. Am I? Because she was like, okay, I'm sorry. Because there was a lot of that, like, oh, I know I'm wrong. And that weird subplot of, okay, so Jamie Lee Curtis was barely, she was like a footnote. And so was Michael.
Oh, yeah. Lori was in it way more than Michael, though.
Yeah, but it was so secondary.
But we're coming up on the grand finale. Because...
that I barely remember.
It goes to...
We watched it yesterday, by the way.
No, we watched it the day it came out. It was 2 days ago.
Okay, we watched it very recently.
But
sorry, I just wiped my nose, by the way. Sorry about that.
So we're at Lori's house, and she's sitting at her desk where she's been writing her memoirs. And,
in red ink.
And she calls the police office. She's like,
we didn't mention that Corey went there, and it looked like she killed him because she was getting ready.
Getting there.
Oh,
you just ruined it.
I'm sorry.
We're good.
I really do forget how it went. I'm not trying to.
That's why you gotta let me talk. You're always cutting me off. So she's calling the police department. She's like, I'd like to report a suicide. And she gets her gun out, and then she's holding up, and she chickens out.
This way.
Oh yeah, she did. And then
because I thought she was gonna go this way too.
And then the door opens, and it's Corey, and she shoots at him.
Do you really think I'd kill myself, motherfucker?
And then
I don't know.
And he falls down the stairs, and then they're like down in the lobby of her house that's gigantic, and I don't know how she could afford it when she hasn't had a job for all these years.
So I thought the same thing.
She must have had a lot of insurance money on that house that burned down in the first one.
She knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, then he's
up
like,
that insurance.
He's like she's about to kill him, and he's like, blah, 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 blah. And then he takes that big knife and just stabs himself.
He said, if I can't have her, no one can. Talking about Allison.
Did you make that car noise too? There's like a car that drove by, and it sounds like
excuse me.
He stabs himself in the bottom of the head, and
then she's like, oh. But why does this always happen in movies? When somebody is made to look like the bad person, or something happens by accident, they always grab the knife. Yeah. And they always just hold it like...
And then Allison walks in thinking she killed Corey.
Ew! What have you done? That's probably better than how she said it, really.
Ow. And then she goes in the kitchen to wash her hands.
But then... Well, first, it would... Just the subtlety of the first one. How there was that... Like that. Where you're like, what was that? Nope, not this one.
But then... Grandpa Fight 2022.
With his...
He's got his oxygen tank next to
him. Hold on. I'm coming, you bitch.
I like the children.
You ever see Wilfred? That was me in the sewer. I named one Jerry. I named one Lewis. I named one Lee. Jerry Lee Lewis. Jimmy the...
So they're fighting and bumping and grinding in the kitchen.
Wrestling.
And then he grabs her hand and he's like holding it down in the... okay, if he's supposed to be this handicapped guy, that was in the insane asylum, how does he know what a garbage disposal is. Like, how do you know that they would have had one?
That's like if he just knew what an iPod was, like 10 years ago, and he just freshly got out of prison. He's like, what you got on here?
So he turns on the garbage disposal, holding her hand down, and then she gets out of it, and she knocks him back on the island, and she stabs his hand, and then she stabs his other hand. And then
My cross. I can't die without my cross.
She stabs him and cuts his throat, and he's bleeding out everywhere. And then the police come in.
But she takes his mask off, and then we were like, wouldn't it be funny if it were just actually Mike Myers?
Hi, baby.
His face in the knife. Oh, behave.
And then the island starts spinning around.
Or he just goes like... For anybody listening, I just made a goofy Mike Myers-esque face as Austin Powers.
But then the police come, and they're all, well, what do we do now?
And then I love the reintroduction of the guy from the second one, that they were like, you can't do your job, so we're going to chant at the hospital.
I just thought of something. All right. What happens to Christine at the end of the movie? She gets put in the crusher shredder and squished into a box. What happens to Michael at the end of this movie? They drive him. They strap him down to Allison's Ford Focus station wagon. And they drive him around town.
I'm surprised it wasn't a Duster. Oh wait, it wasn't he drove a Charger.
Yeah.
In the movie. I can't remember shit about cars outside of movies. When it comes to a movie, I remember what fucking car it was.
So they're driving around town. Everybody's like hooting and a hollering. And they get to the junkyard.
Hoop, 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 hoop.
And they throw him in the car shredder. And then it's just like clunk. Just like Christine.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
You know The Wedding Singer, that song he was singing where he's like, just kill me.
Yeah.
Put a bullet in my head. That's how I feel.
Put a bullet in my head.
Look at Mike Myers, period, peeking on the poster.
I've got an Austin Powers Gold Member poster. Like, it's on top of some of my music equipment up there, and it's just peeking at us.
Oh man, it's like blinding from the light.
I'll take a picture.
Okay, all right.
So Michael Myers is finally dead. He got squished into a box. I'm surprised they didn't like show like a bunch of
a meat box, and it's like trembling.
A bunch of meat, and it just kind of wiggles around. And he goes, na 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 na.
And then he finds out that the one band geek that escaped, that it didn't happen, but if it were Christine, that went away to California, he mysteriously died.
He was hit by a car.
Oh, and also, oh my God, Laurie finished her book that who would read? Because everybody thinks she's psycho anyhow. But she finished it with Evil Never Dies. Boys and girls, do we remember how Christine ended the book? That's how it ended.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is like if you gave a student at the end of the year an assignment. This is your big end of the year, like this is most of your grade.
And they didn't do it?
No, they did it. But they just plagiarized the shit out of it. But they put the sources. But the teacher didn't know what the source was. So they were like, this is fucking good. I'm going to give you an A.
Stephen King loves this movie, apparently.
He's 80. What the fuck does he know?
Well, he knows that it's just a rehash of his own story. I'd like to know what John Carpenter thinks of it.
Also, Corey is hideous. What girl would look at, like, okay, I'm not trying to be mean. She ain't a 10. But that guy, who would just look at him and be like, oh my God. Well, I'm not trying to.
Hey, guys.
I think he's a 10. I'm not talking about him, but it's like this idiot in the waiting room who's like, oh, you who boo-booed my hand. And you're just like, oh, God, I gotta go to the bathroom, clean off my underwear. What the hell? I would say in conclusion, but if you don't know my thoughts on this, I don't know what to tell you. Poor Nigel Planner, don't bring him into this. If I had a penny for every time I answered the door, I'd have £5.63. The Young Ones. Oh, what a great show. You know what would be so much better than watching Halloween Kills Ends, whatever the fuck this was. Halloween giant pile of shit we ripped off another movie. Look at us. Look what I could do. At least that guy was in the other one. That was hilarious. I was like, that's Stuart from Mad TV. If they would have just let him go, no, when he was about to get stabbed. Compared, I thought I hated the last movie, and we talked about the last movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I hated that one.
A year ago.
It could always get worse, everybody.
It's as if the kettle's killed itself rather than be used by me.
You know, you could have told me. Look at me, I've got 6 arms. You'd do anything to impress me, Neil. All right, now I'm just quoting the Young Ones.
So we have ruined the entire plot to Halloween Ends for you.
Oh no! Oh no!
Spoiler alert! If you don't want to, be spoiled.
At the very end of the podcast.
If you
you want to watch a better movie? Watch Return of the Living Dead. Watch the original Halloween. Watch his face. It's way better than that movie. Whoop! Just bop the mic.
Watch Christine. Watch Halloween 2.
You can even watch
Halloween
H2O.
3. Yeah, H2O is like the first time they killed Michael, wasn't it? Or oh no, they killed him a whole bunch of times. But like that's supposed to be the end. Watch Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Oh
Heck,
my
it's
God.
better than David Gordon Green.
At least there were murders in it.
At least there was Sherry Moon Zombie.
Oh, fuck her. She wasn't in it that long.
No.
See, you know what sucked? She's even on the front like, oh, I'm a stripper. I'm in the closet. This mess.
He listened to Kiss too much.
This sucked. I'm not trying to stick up for this movie, but like, I'm saying with the bar this low, this movie is somehow underground.
It's like, all right, Halloween is up here.
One of the best.
The top.
Yeah.
The tippy top.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween Rob Zombie's like kind of down here near the very bottom.
Mm-hmm.
It's not all the way at the bottom.
And let's all get our binoculars out to see where the new one is.
It's way down here. It's below the table for the
You need a backhoe to find that shit.
Will I watch it again? Maybe in like 5 or 10 years when I just want to see how bad it was again. I'll watch them all 3 back to back to back.
Also, I liked how Lauren pointed out, because like I said, I was talking to our friend Lauren about this because she went to see this in the theaters, and she actually said to me, I went to see this in the theater. It sucked. And then I watched it, and I was like, wow, you want to talk about how awful it was? And then we did. But she was pointing out how when he was on the motorcycle, that girl was just like touching all over his fucking face. She was like, why would you want that for? And he was just like, I got it now.
I mean,
and there was the awkward sex scene, but there was no sex scene. It's like, I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see any part of that man. But like, usually in those movies, it's like, ooh, 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 and then the was Michael in the closet. Oh, that's what you were like. Did he ride on the back of the motorcycle with him?
Yeah, because we were wondering how Michael's getting around all these places when he can barely walk now.
Hey, do you think you could stop at Taco Bell?
He's on the back.
In the drive-thru with Michael Myers and Taco Bell.
Oh, he's on the back of the motorcycle with Corey, and he's like, I need a cool rider. I need a cool rider.
He's stop at a stoplight, and there's some guy next to him, and just rolls up his window. Is like,
I hated Grease too.
No, he closes the windows, and he's like, he flips down his visor thing, and he's got a picture of the guy from Grease too. It's like,
Max.
knew there were other fans.
Max Caldwell or something like that, I think is his name. Anyway, enough about Grease 2.
You know what? I know you really like that movie. I didn't particularly care for it. If I had to choose between Grease 2
and Halloween Ends,
I'd be like, get a projector out, set it up in a movie theater, and I'm gonna watch the whole thing and be happy. I won't say a god-dang word. I just want a picture of a god-dang hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a god-dang hot dog. All right. Who's gonna dare me to kill that bird? Now I'm trying to just flush it out of my head and replace it with things that I like King of the Hill and The Young Ones, and I guess Grease too.
Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight.
Get some coffee.
All right. We're back. We're going to do another one soon. Episode, whichever one we're on. It's
What
coming
was
up
that
next.
from? He's back.
Rocktober Blood?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we haven't talked about Rocktober
No, we
Blood yet.
haven't. I haven't talked about Street Trash either. We didn't forget Phil.
Yeah. If you've made it this far, hi.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
listening to me almost cry because I was so mad.
Man, she was so excited to talk about how it's
It was
a
like I
rip-off
just
of
kept thinking of everything, and I was like, just save it for tomorrow. Save it for tomorrow as I'm scrambling my eggs as angrily as possible.
Well, I was talking about how you were just like as soon as I mentioned that it was like something to do with Christine, you're just like, and like all the like the can of worms, all the worms flew out, and then you're just like, wow! Artie Cunningham, Regina Cunningham, Dad Cunningham. I don't remember what his name was, Thomas or something.
Tell you what, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta pee.
All right. See you later, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Like and subscribe and follow us on the anchors and hit that
social
bell.
media, yeah, and it won't be as long again. Bye.
Bye.